You guys know when you go out and you party and you drink and then you're sick for like 4 days later and you're like, I'm never doing that again. But of course you go and do it because your body just forgets how much pain you are in. That's exactly what doing a 24-hour reading challenge feels like. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you've come back, thank you so much. Today, you guys, I thought it was time to do a reading vlog, but I thought because I am sort of behind on my reading this month, I thought it'd be time to do another 24-hour reading challenge. I haven't done one in a few months, and they're always super fun to do, and like I said, they're always good to help me like catch up on my reading goal for the month. Now, that being said, it's like, what day is it? The 20th of November, I want to say, and I have read 6 books so far this month, which is still really good, but I just like have a lot of books on my TBR that I do really want to get to, that I want to read this month, because I've been like pre-filming a lot of like Bookmas content. I haven't been able to read as much as I would like to be reading, so I thought, you know, this will be a good way for me to get to some of the books that I really want to get to before I start reading Christmas books in December, which I'm excited for. So before we like get started, I'm going to show you guys like what the options are / what I'm currently reading. At the moment, I am currently 200 pages into Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I was very graciously sent a proof copy of this before it's traditional publish in Australia. I believe this comes out on the 3rd of December. Yeah, so this gets traditionally published in Australia on the 3rd of December. So I was very graciously sent a proof. It's even got my little name on it too, which is really fun. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. It was slow at the beginning, but it's just gotten so good that I was like, I have to start this reading challenge because all I want to do is sit in my bed and read this. I do still have like 400 pages of this, so hopefully we finish this in this video. This is the rest of my TBR for November that I set aside. So we've got some really good ones in here. I really want to get to The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. This is Single Dad, and I believe she's like an ex-OnlyShmans person, or she does OnlyShmans. We've got Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. I don't think we're going to get to Binding 13, but hey, I may feel like it over the next 24 hours, but these are some other ones that I'm considering as well. I've also got like Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth on my Kindle, which I've been itching to read. So maybe I'll get to that one too, but it's currently 9:51. Planning to get started at 10 a.m. Now I'm gonna just preface this. This is not gonna go from 9 a.m. today to 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm setting the clock. And if I take any pauses, this is how strict I'm gonna be. If I take any pauses, I'm pausing that clock. We're doing a full 24 hours, 24 proper hours of reading, okay? So, without further ado, you guys know the drill. Let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and let's get right on into the video. All right, you guys. So it's officially 10 a.m. on the dot, and I'm going to be setting my 24-hour timer. We have started. It's literally 10 a.m. on the dot. So I'm very excited. Like I said to you guys, I am 200 pages into Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Now, I was sort of saying this in the intro there, but this was like a little bit slow to get into. It's 600 pages, so it's a big boy. But guys, when I tell you this, like, the tension, the banter, the enemies to lovers of it all. Even like the world is so interesting. The plot is super interesting too now. And I can see why it's going to be 600 pages because it's going to be very intricate. I'm loving it. I've got my like medieval, like fairy ambience on in the background. So we're going to read and I will update you guys. Hello guys. It's been just under 2 hours. Okay. And I've read 100 pages of Quicksilver. I'm now officially at the halfway point of this book. Okay, we are almost 300 pages in. And this is going to be like the slowest of slow burns ever, I think. Like, it's just very world building heavy. We're slowly getting there. And like, what's frustrating me about this so much is that sometimes we'll like get these little bits and I'm like, come on. And then it just stops. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? They're like, it's frustrating because the plot is definitely interesting, but I like want more from like the interaction of the two like love interests. I just want more, and I know they're drawing it out, and I feel like there's a reason why we're like only seeing a little bit of their interaction, but I won't say what that is. I want to go and have some lunch, and then I will come back and read some more. Considering that took me almost 2 hours to read like 100 pages. It usually happens with romantasy and like fantasy. I take a little bit longer to read. Usually I read about 100 pages an hour with a romance, but with romantasy, like it's a lot slower because you have to take it in and it's world building and you know what I mean? It's like a lot more to process. So at this stage, I'm believing it's going to take me another, what, 6 hours to finish this? It's all right. We've still got 22 of them. So let's go have some lunch and come back. I'm back. Guys, you know when you just know a romantasy, like the romance in it is gonna absolutely destroy you and be like earth shattering. What is going on with my hair right now? That is what's gonna happen in this. I have to get my annotation supplies out because we're at page, what is this, like 356? And Mans has just said something and I can't say what it is, but I'm on my knees. Anyways, I'm gonna get my annotation supplies and highlight it. I'm not moving until I finish this book. The vibes today, by the way, guys, so cozy. It's like super cool, which is funny because it's like summer in Australia almost. It's been hot over the last like couple of weeks, but yesterday and today, cool breeze. I got my like carriage sweater on, you know, it's a good day. We are a couple of minutes into this vlog and I'm crying. This book is gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt a lot of people if they haven't already read it. You know when a male main character is like broody, I hate everybody, blah, blah, blah. But he's actually like the savior of the world. That's how I feel about Kingfisher. About this guy right here. He's not even on my cover to look properly. I'm unwell. You guys know when you watch a horror movie, hold on, how can I have this? You guys know when you watch a horror movie, right? And you're like screaming at the main characters because you're like, you are so dumb. Like, why aren't you seeing this? Why aren't you seeing this? Why aren't you seeing this? The female main character in this is so dumb because I'm like, there's been all of these things and I'm like, are you that dumb? The answer is right in front of you. This is not even like a, you know, we as the reader don't know what's going on. This chick, like I'm reading, all these people are telling this chick stuff and it's like, bro, listen to them. It's been 4 hours. I just have a question. Why do we read? Like, why do we read for fun? Like, why do we read books to say like, yeah, reading's so fun. Reading is for escapism. Reading sucks, man. This book is no joke. Literally, the first part of this video is just gonna be me sat on this bed because I don't want to move and I don't want to do anything. So anyway, update. We're 5-ish hours into this challenge now. And I think we are on page, what is this? 522. So I got 80 pages left of this book. I'll probably finish it within the next 40 minutes, maybe. And then I need to start a romance or something because I just know this is going to end in pain. And I haven't looked it up yet, but I hope there's another one because I don't think I can just stand with this being a standalone. It just doesn't sit right with me. If I ever come to you guys and say that I want to read a romantasy again and read a book about fated mates, tell me not to do it, okay? Because I physically can't do this anymore. All right, so it is 10 to 5 at night, okay? So we are 7.5 hours in and I finished Quicksilver. Did I finish Quicksilver or did Quicksilver finish me? That's the real question here, okay, you guys? So like, do you see on the back of this lovely proof here, it says your next romantasy obsession is here. And yes, I am so attached. Whilst we're all here having a grandioso old time, I need to look up the author and see if there's a sequel. Because you know what this did to me? This did to me what Fourth Wing did to me. You know how at the end of Fourth Wing, right, you're like reading the last couple of pages, literally down to the last 2 pages, and you're like, this isn't a nice little happy bow. Like, maybe this is gonna be a standalone. This is a nice little happy bow. And then in the last line, the last couple of lines, boom, mic drop, cliffhanger. Like, that's how this feels. Okay, so whilst I'm here, I just need to look up Callie Hart on Instagram and I need to know if there's gonna be another one, okay? Follow immediately. Book 2. Book 2 when? Book 2 when? Are we getting book 2? Oh, guys, I see Fae and Alchemy #1. Hold on, have they told me in this arc if there's gonna be like a part 2? On Goodreads, it says Fae and Alchemy #1. So that means it's not standalone, but we've had no news of a sequel yet. If we know there's a sequel, please let me know. Guys, I don't even know. I need to take a break because I don't even know what I want to rate this yet. I need to process. I cried, I tabbed a lot in the last end of this. This was so well done. It's a big book. It's so good. I don't know if it's 5 stars. When I closed that book just then, I was like, yeah, 5 stars. Could easily give this book 5 stars. But then I said, hold on, Belle, think this through. I think we could have shaved a couple of 100 pages off of this book. However, so good. I'll get back to you at the end of the video, but right now we need to take a pause because that was a big day. Big day. Hello, besties and friends. I'm gonna be for real with you guys right now. It's considerably later in the night and I took a pause. I paused the timer. Hello, I paused the timer. We still have 17.5 hours left. Okay, I'm now gonna be finishing this challenge in the late afternoon, but that's okay. I told you guys I'm gonna read for 24 hours. Did I say 24 hours straight? No, don't sue me. Anyway, guys, I just got back from the shops because I wanted to do some Christmas shopping with my mum. So that's why I took a pause, okay? And after literally reading pretty much over 500 pages today, like in one sitting, was a lot. And usually when I do these 24-hour reading challenges, I try to read books that are like, you know, between the 350 mark, because they're quite easy to like power through. But I think also like after you finish a fantasy and a romantasy, you've got to like let it settle and process. I think trying to jump into something, you know, when you're in a world for such a long time, you just got to let it process and sink in. Anyways, it is now 10 o'clock at night. I still have a lot light ahead of me. So I've decided that my next read is going to be Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. This is the second book in the Eden series. I read Indigo Ridge quite a few months ago, but I did read it this year and I really loved it. And everybody has just been telling me that like Juniper Hill is like the best in that series. I believe this is Single Mum, and yeah, I'm very excited to get into this one. This one is only 320 pages, which is good, and the writing is substantially bigger than Quicksilver. So I am gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna make a cup of tea because I want one. And then we're gonna come back and get into this. Hello besties and friends of mine, how are we today? So remember yesterday when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read for 24 hours, but if I need to like have dinner or whatever, I'll pause and I'll make sure I read for 24 hours. We're really gonna be sticking with that. We are really gonna be honing in on that because it's the next day. I still have 16 and a half hours left. I paused the timer, but you know what? Life happens and this is real. You know, I may have gone book shopping for Vlogmas and you know, that's what I had to do. Okay, that's what I had to do. But I promise you now, guys, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna finish this challenge. So it says I'm gonna finish this at 7 a.m. tomorrow now. Okay, and that's okay. And it's okay. I will give you an update though. Last night before I fell asleep, I read 58 pages of Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. And it's cute so far. It's very fast paced. It's really like, it's set in a small town. We've got a single mom, she's got a little baby boy, and then we have a grumpy chef, right? And she's come to work as like a housekeeper in his little inn. And you know, he is renting out like one of his rooms to her to stay with her little boy. And he always likes his privacy and he's quiet. And now he's got this new hot single mum with her little baby boy staying in close proximity to him. So bit of tension, bit of friction, but they are starting to sort of get along a little bit better. And I feel like I'm gonna smash this out. It's gonna be really, really cute. So 16 and a half hours left on the clock. Let's jump into bed and then see where we get. You guys, this is again gonna be another book that's gonna ruin me. It's so stinking cute. I'm on page 130. I don't know how many pages this book is, 326. It's so sweet. I was saying to you guys, it is like a single mum and he's a chef and he's like grumpy grump. But like it's not a spoiler, but he can tell she's like struggling financially, and because he's a chef, he like always is like cooking food for her and like bringing it over to her. And at night, like she really struggles to like put her son to sleep. And he will go over there every night just to like help her put him to sleep and like rock him, and he falls asleep instantly. And it's so... This book is gonna ruin me. I'm telling you right now. One of my favorite things, oh my god, one of my absolute favorite things is when you have the single parent trope, because usually it's single dad, right? But when it's a single mum, especially when it's like a baby, when the male main character comes into the picture, but he just starts treating the baby like his own son, it makes me feral and emotional. He keeps calling the baby his little boss, like, stop. I'm getting sleepy. Story of my life is I'm getting sleepy. Okay, everybody. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's 9:30 and I've just finished my second book. We are just under 12 hours. So we're almost at the halfway point. And I have finished, I was about to say Indigo Ridge. This is Juniper Hill. And this was cute, like nothing life-changing. I found that this book was like, I don't know if it's because I've obviously just sat down and read the whole thing pretty much at once, but I was actually talking to one of my besties, Molly, today, and I was saying that a lot of the books that I've read this year, I've just noticed that some of them like move super quick, and it's usually these ones that are really short. It's like, I really struggle to connect with a story and with characters in a romance book that's within that 300-page mark, because either you use those 300 pages to like build a really good development between the main couple, or you give me a really interesting plot or something. And I feel like I've read a lot of books this year where it's just like the plot is moving super fast, the relationship is moving super fast, and then I just can't like develop a connection to the story or the characters. And whilst this was very sweet and there was some moments there with like Knox, who's the MMC, and the little boy Drake, who like that really like warmed my heart. And I do love seeing, like I was saying, I do love seeing when it's a single mum and then the new MMC like actually takes like her baby on as his own. Like I really love that. But other than that, I wasn't really compelled too much with this. I'm thinking at the moment this is going to be a 3.5 star. I actually preferred Indigo Ridge, which is the first one in this series. There was a really interesting like mystery plot in that. For it being a romance, like it had a really nice mystery plot. So that's book number 2. Like I said, 3.5 stars I'm thinking at the moment, and maybe like a 1.5, maybe 2 chili spices. So that's that. Now, like I said, it's 9:30, so I'm gonna have a shower quickly and just wipe my makeup off because I want to get comfy. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna continue reading Passenger Princess on my Kindle because I just want to get into my bed and get a bit comfy. Will I fall asleep? Who knows? Let's go have a shower. Alright, we're showered, we are skincared, we are everything. So I'm going to start Passenger Princess. So for those who don't know, Passenger Princess, it's by Morgan Elizabeth. It's basically, so far, I've read 1 chapter, okay? That's what I mean by I'm going to continue reading. I've read 1 chapter. It's basically about this beauty pageant queen and a bodyguard. And I am just so here for it because you guys know Twisted Game is one of my favorite princess bodyguard romances, or bodyguard romances in general. So I'm excited to read another one, and everybody has said that this one's super good. I think it'd be a nice change of pace after Juniper Hill from the single dad or single parent, and hopefully kind of funny. I kind of want like a bit of a laugh. So yeah, what's the time? We have 12 hours and 23 minutes left. So if we stay on track, I finished 2 books in the first half of this challenge, so might be able to get through 4, but I'm just gonna say maybe we might get through 3. Let's go. Morning everybody, it is 7 a.m. We've got 8 hours and 14 minutes left, and I just need to tell you guys about Passenger Princess. Oh, this is going to be a 5-star book. I'm literally like 13% into it. Yeah, I'm on chapter 7. This book is so funny. Like literally there was this line. There's been a few times where I wish I had the physical. I need the physical, except if I order it today, I'm not going to get it till like the 3rd of December. I'm like, girl, I need it now because I want to annotate it, right? I just read this line and it's like, I know God has to be a woman because no man has a sense of humor this good. And the tension and the banter. And you know what my favorite thing is ever? Like a bodyguard, don't fall in love with me. But this time she said it, not him. Just promise me you won't fall in love with me. I fall for it every single time. I love it. And I feel like I'm just going to sit down now and I'm going to wish I had the physical. 1, it looks super cute. 2, I just want to annotate the living daylights out of it. So I made a cup of tea. I have changed scenery because the bedrooms drive me insane. And we're going to read more. Guys, I'm getting the 5-star feeling, okay? You guys, this book is so good. Literally, you guys, they're like doing this event because basically, like I was saying, it's a pageant queen and a bodyguard, right? And she's basically like touring America because she's just won like the Miss Americana pageant. Anyway, she's doing this little event moment thing where she's like scooping ice cream for all these people that are like coming around to this little shop and whatever. And at the end, like the owner says like, oh, like pick something to have like a flavor and we'll give you some complimentary. And the bodyguard like watches her look through the menu and then she like politely declines. He thinks she's like declining it because like, oh, you know, for her image and like, you know, she's worried about having dessert and a few more calories and blah, blah, blah. And he sort of says to her, he's like, you know, you can have a scoop of ice cream. It's not gonna, you know, do anything bad to you, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts laughing and she goes, I've got a dairy allergy, you dumb. Anyway, this man feels so bad about it. He rocks up to her apartment, opens the door, and he starts blabbering on. He's got a bag full of dairy-free, like, ice cream, sorbets, ice cream bars. Just because he felt so bad for her, he went and bought her all this dairy-free stuff. It was so... Guys, I just know this book's gonna be so good. We have 7.5 hours left. Y'all, the spice in this book... I've never read anything by Morgan Elizabeth before, okay? And, like, she's just opened a brand new door. Every part of this book is just so good. Like, every element is so fleshed out. It's so addictive. Literally, I've had no updates for you guys because all I've done is sat in my bed for the last however many hours. We're at 5 hours and 26 minutes left. And literally, I can't stop reading this book. I am not going to stop reading this book. I just want to binge like everything. I also know that she has like a Christmas novella, Big Nick energy. And then there's one after this called If We Were a Movie. And I just want to sit and read all of her stuff because it's all on Kindle Unlimited. This book, you guys, Twisted Games Eat Your Heart Out. This is like, I don't know, this might be better. This might be better. What's up, guys? I thought we'd take a little break, do a check-in, because we are officially just under 5 hours left of the challenge. So we're on the home stretch, is what I want to say. And whilst I wait for some cooking? While I wait for my chicken to cook downstairs, I thought we could do a lovely check-in, okay? This book is so good, you guys. I am 70% in. So I'm probably gonna have, how much longer does it say I've got left of this book? It says I've got an hour left of reading for this book. And I think I will smash through it. It's just so, if you guys loved Twisted Games by Anna Huang, this is like same canvas, different paint. Like it's same sort of tropes-ish. She's not really a princess, she's obviously a pageant queen, but princess bodyguard type of vibe. It's like rom-com to the max, Grumpy Sunshine to the max. But you know what I love about this Grumpy Sunshine? You guys might have heard if you've seen my other videos. I can't stand in Grumpy Sunshine when the girl is just described as being the most childish, loves sunshine and rainbows and lollipops, but then she's like a fully grown adult. I can't stand it. This girl is sunshine, sunshine, sunshine to the max, but she's not cringy. She's very mature, and I just love both of them. Both of them, Jamie and Ava, they're just both so complex and funny, and the banter and the tension and the spice. You know when you read a book and you go like, this is why I love reading? You know, I think about Juniper Hill that I finished last night, and I just like, you know, I was just going through the motions reading that book. I was just trying to get it finished. This one, I'm like, I don't want it to end sort of thing. And that's how you know that a book is good. So right now I'm leaning towards like, it's pretty perfect. It could be a 5-star read depending on how it wraps up. The man as well, like his love language is like acts of service, but also like gift giving. Because obviously, right, they're going on this road trip around America trying to like, you know, do all these pageant things. Like think about like the victory tour from the Hunger Games, right? It's like that. And they're obviously like spending a lot of time in the car together. So she loves to bring all her little like Nintendo Switch and her books and her headphones and everything to sit in the car. And then one day he literally like went out, bought her a brand new blanket, all the snacks she likes, bought her a brand new book because he knows that she loves romance books, to like set her up for this 6-hour car ride. And she's like, how do you know that I like all these things? It's just, yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna have some lunch soon and we will be back. My favorite thing just happened in a book ever. Oh my god. I'm giving you a hint, guys, okay? When the guy calls her princess, if the nickname is princess, it then can evolve into something else. And then when it's a spicy scene, I just have to say it. I've been calling you princess, but maybe I should have been calling you queen all along. Let me kneel before your majesty. Guys, this is a perfect rom-com. I think the most perfect rom-com I've ever read. I can't. I love it here. All right, you guys. It is... How much longer we got left of this timer? We have 3.5 hours left. So we're in the home stretch. I've just finished Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth. My Kindle's over there on charge because I literally was running it to the bone. Like, I hadn't charged it in a while. So I was like running it to the bone trying to finish it. So it's over there charging. But guys, that was a 5-star read. That was 5 stars, 3 chili spices. I don't know any other way to like describe this book other than it was the most perfect rom-com in the sense of like, it was like obviously very romantic, very spicy, had an incredible storyline, but it was just genuinely so funny. And there were moments in there that were just gold, okay? Like things that like are just classic rom-com things. Like this is not really a spoiler, but like obviously there's pageantry, right? And there's all the pageant girls, and like towards the end of the book there's a scene where all the girls sort of come together and like in defense they start like spraying with like glitter spray and hairspray and trying to attack with hair irons, and like it was just so funny. And like all those scenes and moments are just gold, and the romance and all of it, it was a perfect book, for a lack of a better term. I don't think I've ever read a perfect rom-com as perfect as Passenger Princess was. I just loved it. 5 stars. Can't believe I've found 2 5 stars in this one 24-hour challenge. Obviously, Quicksilver was a romantasy, and this is like 5 stars for a completely different reason. I'm just so excited. I just think, let me just look at my notes. Yeah, it was just so good. Also, just like the women empowerment. I don't know. I just had the best time with that book. And I'm so excited to read the next one, which is If We Were a Movie. Now, what I thought we would do before because obviously we have 3.5 hours left. I obviously want to start a new book, but I think I'm going to try and read a novella, because I think if I read a novella, I might be able to like finish that within the 3.5 hours. I don't think if I were to start like a normal size book that I would finish that in the 3.5 hours. So let me just go on my Kindle app and just see what I've got, because obviously my Kindle's over there. I'm just going to see what I've got downloaded. Lauren Ash's new Christmas novella came out the other day. It's just come into my Kindle library. That's why I was like, hold on guys. How many pages is this? Oh, it's 212 pages. So it's a bit longer than I thought it would be. Could we do something Christmassy? I think we could. I've got a few things downloaded on my Kindle, but I definitely want to do like a Christmassy novella. I think I've got this one little book called The Mistletoe Bet. I want to see how many pages it is. Okay, this is 133 pages. This one says, everyone says there's no place like home. Well, not for me. When I'm forced to spend the holidays at home with my family in Strawberry Hollow, I have no idea how I'm going to even survive the week, let alone make it through my least favorite holiday, Christmas. Well, how embarrassing for you. That is until I run into my childhood crush and my brother's best friend, Parker Grant. Now he's the sexy off-limits doctor in our small town and nothing like the man I left behind 6 years ago. While I hate the holidays, there's nothing that he loves more, well, other than a good bet, which is exactly what happens when we end up together under the mistletoe and a bet that changes everything. He asked for the next 7 days to change my mind about Christmas, but 7 days alone with Parker is more than either of us bargained for. Now there's much more at stake than a silly mistletoe bet. Oh my god, wait, I want to read this. This is cute. Okay, maybe I'll do this. I'm gonna just get that onto my Kindle and I think we will do that. Because like I said, we've got, what is this? Guys, one thing I've been so bad with this month is putting my reviews up on Goodreads. I don't know what it is. I just need to sit down and like, cause I take notes as I read my books, obviously, but sometimes I just don't even go into Goodreads and like mark it as read or put my review up. And now I'm like, I probably should have done that already. All right, let's start this book. Guys, this is just gonna be 100 pages of just pure cheese, pure cringe, pure cheesy Christmas rom-com Hallmark movie realness. So basically the premise of it is like they share a kiss under the mistletoe. She's just come back into town. It's like brother's best friend. And she hates Christmas. He loves Christmas. And he's like, you're here for 7 days. Let me try to like convince you in 7 days that Christmas is the best, right? Reverse Grumpy Sunshine. And the first day they're like out at this Christmas tree farm. And they're like, okay, we need to find the perfect Christmas tree. And they're like, okay, what do you think is the best Christmas tree? And she's like, I want one that's like tall, girthy. And he wants one that's like short and like wide. And at first they're making jokes about it, but then it's funny because they're literally describing like each other. Does it make sense? Because she's like short and like curvier and he's quite tall, a little bit thicker, like broad. So it's funny, like he wants the short tree and she wants the tall. It's just very, I can just tell it's going to be cute and cringe. Guys, I think I just found a cardinal sin. This book is so cute and I'm loving it. But like a spicy scene's about to happen and she's like, he is about to take off my jeggings. Now what in the fresh hell? Who is wearing jeggings in this day and age? When was this book published? I must know. Because I'm telling you now, nobody looks good in jeggings. Nobody is willingly wearing jeggings. Apologies if you wear jeggings. I don't think I've said jeggings in years. Now I think I've just lost the plot. 2021. Now I know people were not wearing jeggings in 2021. I will give you until 2016, maybe 2017 to allow for jegging. I don't know, guys. Every single time I go, I'm going to do a 24-hour reading challenge. I think I'm doing it with a sound mind. But it's like, okay, you guys know when you go out and you party and you drink, think of New Year's Eve, right? When you just get absolutely smashed and then you're sick for like 4 days later and you're like, I'm never doing that again. But of course you go and do it because your body just forgets how much pain you are in. That's exactly what doing a 24-hour reading challenge feels like. I always forget how hard it is. Guys, I just finished the mistletoe bet, okay? We have an hour and 20 minutes, okay? We're almost on the home stretch. Do I actually have the energy and want to start a 5th book? No. Anyway, should I tell you guys about the mistletoe bet? Maybe I should. Mistletoe bet was cute. It was literally 100 and something pages. I usually don't give novellas higher than a 3-star. Like a perfect novella to me is like a 3-star. So I'm thinking this one was okay. Cute, funny. Would I recommend it for you to read as a palate cleanser for Christmas? Sure. It's nothing too special. It's 100 pages, right? So I'm gonna give it like a 2.5 star. Spice was there. Spice was definitely there. Give it like a 1.5, maybe 2 stars. 2 chili spice. I can't speak English. Guys, what am I gonna do? Look at the state of me. Look at the state of my hair. Should I put you on the tripod? Maybe put you on the tripod for a sec. I don't know what I wanna do. Do I read on my Kindle? Do I read a physical? I'm looking at my TBR and I'm like, no. What have I got on here? On here I have If This Was a Movie by Morgan Elizabeth. It's the second one after Passenger Princess that I just read. But I feel like I need to be in a good headspace because I want to like that book. I've also got 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. Another Christmas one, but I don't want to read back-to-back Christmas. I've got Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. Absolutely not. Jail. Too long, too depressing. I'm not starting that right now. Spinning around, move out of my way. Guys. Should I read fantasy? What if I start legendary? This is not on my TBR. What is going on with my hair? Double pause. The Songbird and the Heart of Stone comes out in a couple of days' time. And look, I have read Serpent and Wings of Night and Ashes and the Starburst. Starburst? Starcursed King. I just feel like I'm on another planet. This comes between those two books. However, I did not read that because I wanted the paperback. So maybe I'll read this before Ballad of Song. That's not it. That's the Hunger Games. Maybe I'll read this before the, oh my lord, the Songbird and the Heart of Stone that comes out in Australia in a few days' time. This is a novella and it is 211 pages. So maybe I could give this a start. I think I'm sick of romance. Okay. 1 hour and 19 minutes left. Let's see how much of this we can read. Guys, I just went downstairs to get a glass of milk because I'm like a literal child. But we bought these like gingerbread men, these little snack gingerbread men. And this is the peak delirium that I'm at. What about this? What happened to him? What happened to him? Okay guys, it's official. Let me turn a light on in here. Thank God we're done. Like I was saying earlier, you guys, it's sort of, actually I'm missing a book. 24-hour reading challenges are really funny because it sort of starts out as you being like, oh yeah, like I love doing this, like this is such a fun time. And it's fun for the first like 12 hours and then you get tired. And then you reach the like 6 hours left mark and then the delirium kicks in. And then you get to like the 2 hours left, 1 hour left and it becomes so difficult, but it's still fun. So let's go through what I read and what I rated for a final little wrap up. So I ended up reading 4 books and starting a 5th. I'll be honest with you guys, that last hour of reading, I read 8 pages and then I listened to Sarah and Destiny's podcast because I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And it wasn't a point of like, I couldn't be bothered to read. It was a point of like, if I force myself to read any more, I'm going to put myself into a book slump and I didn't want that to happen because I feel like even consuming 4 different books within 24 hours is still a lot to sort of process, and I think it's a bit insane. So obviously you guys know that the first book that I finished was Quicksilver by Callie Hart. This one, like I said to you guys, I was in about 130 pages when I started the challenge. I ended up reading the whole thing. It is 600 pages. It's a big book, and I was very graciously sent a proof copy, like I said, for the Oz release. That's the 3rd of December this comes out if you live in Australia. I am so glad that I read this book and that I was able to read this book because it was just so good. If you want a book that's going to give you the same like a feeling and like attachment that you got from like ACOTAR and the shock factor ending of like Fourth Wing, I think you'll really love this. Also the romance is just like earth-shattering. What I'll say about Quicksilver as well, I read When the Moon Hatched earlier this year and everybody is saying like that's the best romantasy that's come out of this year and it's like amazing and it's people's new favorite books, and that's wonderful if it is. For me, I just like, something was missing because the romance was there. I just feel like the plot was not very compelling. It was very confusing, and that's just for me personally because I struggle sometimes with really complex world building. This had such an intricate world building system. There was lots of different names, interesting pronunciations, places, lore, like it was very intense, but I was like super intrigued and like super invested and attached to every element. I'm talking characters, romance, plot, world, like I was there. I didn't want it to end. Yes, this book could have been maybe 100 pages less, but I still gave this book 5 stars, and I want to give it like a 2.5 chili spice, because, or maybe like a 3, because it was so good. I cried reading this. There's a character in this called Carrion, and he is just like a Cassian. He's like a Kenji, and I love those characters so much. I really become like super invested and attached to them. This also ended on a cliffhanger, so I need to know immediately when the next one's coming out, because I'm being for real. This was so good. If you want a romantasy, like I said, that's going to give you the same feels as Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, Serpent and the Wings of Night, this is this. Then I ended up reading Juniper Hill, which is the second book in the Eden series. So as I was sort of saying, this is between a single mum and a chef, small town. She basically gets hired to be a housekeeper at a hotel, and Knox is the chef. It's family owned, whatnot. And because she's unable to like find accommodation in town, the owner of the inn, Eloise, she ends up like offering, you can stay with my brother, who is also the chef, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I don't want anyone living in my space. But what ends up happening is this really sweet like dynamic where you've got like, oh my god, Knox, what's her name? Memphis, got a funny name, Memphis, and then Drake is her little boy. Like the relationship between Knox and Drake, for me, really saved this book. There were definitely moments, I highlighted one thing in this book, and that sort of shows you like how invested I sort of was. But you know, the romance between the main couple was sweet, but I think the biggest sort of win and like draw card for me was like that relationship that Knox ended up developing with Memphis's son. I just thought it was really sweet. But like I was sort of saying last night when I was talking about this, the sort of thing that I didn't love about this is it just moved really quickly. And that's not to discredit the plot as a whole or the story. I just feel like when it's not insta-lovey, but the plot is just moving super fast, and you're like, when are these characters actually developing a relationship and a connection? I think I give this 3.5 stars, and I want to give it like a 2 chili spice maybe, or like 1.5 chili spice. Then you guys know I moved over to my Kindle and I read Passenger Princess by Morgan Elizabeth. I loved this book. Like I was saying earlier today, this is a perfect rom-com. Like I said, it's between a bodyguard and a pageant queen, and she's basically traveling the world doing like a little bit of a victory tour after she wins Miss Americana, and he is tasked to sort of make sure that everything goes well and that she's safe and that she's protected, and it's just so good. If you are wanting something that's going to give you the same feels as Twisted Games by Anna Huang, you will love this. However, this just like doesn't have the same emotional turmoil. This is like a true rom-com, so don't go into this thinking you're going to get any sort of like gripping gut punching sort of elements to it. This is purely just a happy, fluffy, light rom-com. There's obviously like conflict, but it's just so funny, so silly, spicy. I was laughing so much reading this book. I'm giving it 5 stars and 3 chili spices because the spice was insane. Finally, like last full book that I read was The Mistletoe. Oh my god, who's this by? The Mistletoe Bet, and I don't even know who this is by. I'm so sorry. Let me have a look. The Mistletoe Bet is by Maren Moore. Okay, The Mistletoe Bet by Maren Moore. Like I said, you guys, this was a cute little Christmas novella. This follows Parker and Quinn. They are childhood friends. It's a brother's best friend sort of dynamic. She comes home for the holidays. She lives in like New York. She comes back to her small town, and at like a little Christmas party, she doesn't really like Christmas. She is not the biggest fan of Christmas, and he loves Christmas. They sort of like meet under the mistletoe, they have a kiss, and he says, I can convince you in the 7 days that you're here to love Christmas, otherwise I'll do this, and blah 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 blah. So they make a bet under the mistletoe that, you know, he'll make her love Christmas in 7 days, and it's a cute little spicy like Hallmark movie, cheese to the max. It was really just like funny. The spice was there. It really wasn't earth-shattering, world-changing. It's definitely like if you want something to sort of start your holiday season off, just to sort of dip your toes in and not go into a full Christmas book yet, this was cute. I read that in about like 40 minutes, an hour, whatever that was. It was just very sweet, nothing special. I'm gonna give it like 2.5 stars because I don't rate novellas over 3 stars because they're like 100 pages. 2.5 stars, and I give it like a 2.5 chilies because yeah. And then like I said to you guys, I got 8 pages into Six Scorched Roses. This is like following a side couple from the Crowns and Nyaxia series or the Nightborn duet. So I mean, I'll read a bit more later, but I couldn't do it, guys. Like I was like, it was just turning into like mush in my brain. So yeah, that's all the books that I read. Alright, you guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking through all the way to the end. If you did, I really, really appreciate it. 24-hour reading challenges are hard. So if you guys have ever done them, please let me know in the comments because I want to know how you guys go. I always like struggle as well when to like start them because I think starting them at like, you know, 8 or 9 in the morning is good, but then it's like the overnight that kills me. So maybe next time I might start it at like really early in the morning. I'm talking like 2, 3 in the morning, and then I can try and like, do you know what I mean? I think that sort of makes the most sense. Keep an eye out too, because Bookmas is coming up and I will be doing a Christmas 24-hour reading challenge, but I'm gonna do it right this time, I promise, okay? As always, guys, if you aren't already, you are more than welcome to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll leave my handles on the screen and in the description. And if you'd like to, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you are hitting that notification bell. That way you're notified each time a brand new video goes up. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again. I really, really appreciate it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a lovely day or a lovely night, and I will see you all next time. Bye.